Hey everybody, it's Brian Shannon from alphatrends.net. It's Sunday, the 17th of May, 2015. I had a couple of nice days in Las Vegas. Good to meet a couple people there over the Money Show. And let's take a look at the markets here. We had a good week. Of course, the S&P 500 finished at an all-time high, both on Thursday and Friday. So we had the week up 0.4%. The NASDAQ doubled that, as did the Russell 2000. Financials were down a little bit as bonds came back on Friday at least. They still did finish the week down, and the dollar lost some ground as well. But let's take a look at the charts here and make some sense of it. So the S&P 500, again, we're at all-time highs. It's very tough to be bearish when you're at all-time highs, and we had seen over the last couple weeks that the trend line here was holding as support. We came down middle of the week and found support at the rising 50-day moving average. And as we had noted a couple times, the year-to-date volume-weighted average price we had just fallen short of, and that 38.2% retracement is where we saw that support on the 50-day moving average as well. So we've had this level be a band of resistance really for the last 3 months or so, and each time we've come up to here, we've backed off pretty quickly. So for next week, obviously we're going to want to see that it holds. I think the key level to hold will probably be, I'd give it a little bit of room, maybe down towards 211.50 to 212. I think that's what we should view as our potential band of support if we can continue to hold that. Ideally, we would want to be able to hold Friday's lows, but if we pull back a little bit further, it wouldn't be a big deal. This market does seem as though it wants to continue to move higher. We've tested and rejected this level numerous times. The market had made the higher lows, and buyers have been getting more aggressive price-wise as well as time-wise as the distance between the tests of that resistance have become more frequent. So it appears, I'd say again, that this market is innocent till proven guilty. As long as we remain really above 211 next week, I wouldn't think that we're due for a bigger pullback. If we got back below 211, then perhaps we have the market pull back a little bit deeper. And the NASDAQ, for its part, it didn't finish at all-time highs here, but it's still very positive as it's been riding this trend line that we've been observing. And again, breaking trend lines doesn't mean the market's going to reverse. It means the rate of ascent has slowed. But we have, again, in this area, we've had this as our little band of resistance. So we're not quite as bullish relatively to the S&P 500, but still obviously in good shape. We're above a rising 5-day moving average. This week we had broken that downtrend line. We had seen the 5-day moving average turn higher, and we saw the higher high above that flat to rising 5-day moving average, which is our cue that the buyers are in control of the intermediate term trend, and it remains innocent till proven guilty. So our key level of support in the NASDAQ would be really, I'd say, 108.25 to 108.50. If we can maintain above that, I think that we should expect to see this NASDAQ continue to move higher. The Russell 2000 is a little bit trickier. We've been talking about this broken support on the daily time frame, and that broken support has been acting as resistance in here. We've got this prior band of support acting as a band of resistance. We've got the 50-day moving average just overhead as well, and that 50-day moving average we're unable to get back above, as well as this prior support. So for now, we've got to be very cautious in regards to the Russell 2000. Of course, backing up to a weekly time frame, all we've done is pull back to a very important prior level of resistance. So we're kind of in no man's land. The primary trend is still higher, so we give the benefit of the doubt to the buyers overall. But on the intermediate term time frame, what we're going to want to see in here is that we can get back above 124 and hold above that level, so that we could see maybe that we get up towards maybe 124.5, pull back towards about 124, 123.75, and that this little band of resistance that we're seeing right in here will then act as support. If that's the case, then I think we could expect the Russell 2000 to power back higher up towards the all-time highs as well. Semiconductors were up a little bit this week, and they're right up against this little band of resistance that we've seen develop over the last month. We've seen, as that resistance is tested, that we have higher lows coming coming into it. So that shows us the buyers are getting more aggressive price-wise as they don't wait for the pullback to 55 and a quarter or to 56. Instead, they take control at 56.50. So that's a positive thing. But as those lines just indicated, this is our band of resistance, and we need to break above with some conviction and then see that 56.75 to 57 level hold as support. If we can do that, then I think you expect to see continued upside in the semiconductors. The financials, they remain a little bit tricky here. We have this bigger level of consolidation here on the daily time frame that this has been, again, this is, we've been talking about this range that we've been in. We've spent most of the time actually in the midpoint of that range. The upper band right here we're in right now, that upper band of resistance, and the lower band of support. So it is holding up, and it's nice to see that with a rising 10, 20, and 50-day moving average. This week we made a higher low. That's going to be very important over the next couple weeks as far as holding that level, $24.35. If we can continue to hold $24.35, then I think you expect to see these financials go up and break last year's highs. And obviously, we're in a primary uptrend on the weekly time frame. We've spent some time in here, and this is good because we've been kind of building energy for a breakout. So I'd say you want to be optimistic on the financials, and that holding again right above this, this past week's lows are going to be the key for sustained upside in there. That's all I'm going to talk about today. And subscribers, I'll have a video for you shortly with some new trading ideas for Monday. I hope everyone had a good week, and I'll talk to you again next week. Thanks.